Good morning, good people. This is again Daria and
Hi, I'm Liza.
Liza, right. Well, guys, you only been listening to me, my loyal listeners, my newcomers, and now I want for you something different. That's why but also with my dearest friend Liza, we decided to create something new. So this is a new season, this is a new chapter, and of course, this is a new format, which is video, as you can see. I hope you're happy with this because we are totally happy. Well, guys, we need to change to grow. That's why I decided why not invite my friends. So, and for you to understand who my friend is, Liza, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, good people. I'm Liza. I am 25 years old. I am also from Eastern Europe, is Daria. And I have been living in Germany since 3.5 years already. I actually came to Germany to do my master's degree. And now I work as an IT consultant, basically with Daria.
We met.
Yes, that's how we met. I'm also a content creator for Instagram and for LinkedIn. And from now on, I'm also a co-host of this podcast, which I am very, very excited for, to tell you more about my life, some life hacks, some real experience, some tips about living, studying, and working in Germany. I am very excited to share some supportive, some funny, some useful, and maybe inspiring experience with you guys. I hope you will like it. So it's basically what I want to do here.
Yes, we didn't have these pieces of advice, but now we want you to be fully informed. If you want to come to Germany, it doesn't matter. As a student, as just a person who meets someone else here in Germany, for any reasons, for any purposes, for you, this podcast and this season. So I'm also extremely happy that Liza is also here. And guys, today's topic, let's go directly to the theme. Today's topic is about education, but not the classical one as we had already. So you can find some other episodes that already in the first season. And there we had some master studies, also bachelor studies, but this time it's something very unusual. I bet you don't know about this because I didn't. So I actually decided to start with this because I know that Liza is an expert in this field. So Liza, maybe we just really deep dive into the topic already because I think our listeners are ready and they already knew who we are. So let's start. Well, my first question is, Liza, I have never heard about something like this, which is dual study. And it doesn't seem to be really popular among international students. So could you please tell us how did you find out about that?
Oh, that's a very funny story, actually. I found out about dual studies. It's called Duales Studium on Tinder.
Oh, wow, really? That's interesting.
I have also never heard about Duales Studium. I think I heard about dual studies like once, but I didn't really do any research on this topic. Maybe I will start from the beginning. I wanted to come to Germany to my master's degree here. But the challenge for international students outside of the European Union is that you have to provide a frozen bank account. I think in German it's called Sperrkonto.
Yes. Which I did, exactly.
Exactly. So you basically need to provide enough money for 1 or 2 years, I think, which is a
big amount of money.
Yeah, which is a big amount of money, which I obviously didn't have as a student back then. Once I was in my student room in Minsk, in the capital of my home country. And I was I was just literally scrolling profiles on Tinder. I had this dating app back then, and I also had this I think it's like international search function on.
Nice to know.
Yeah, so yeah, and I had a match with a guy who was living in Germany and still living in Germany, and yeah, we connected like, hey, how are you, and all the stuff, and we began to chat. Yeah, and then yeah, he suggested to have a call so we can hear each other, we can like, let's say,
Get to know.
yeah, get to know each other, not only per chatting, but let me say like in person.
Let me see you.
Like
Yeah. We do now.
Yeah, which is obviously was like kind of weird. I don't know if I would do it again like now, but back then I was like,
You were brave.
Yeah, like I thought like, okay, even if there will be something strange or like that, I can just cancel the
It's
call.
just video.
Yeah, I can cancel the call right now, and it's okay. I can block him. But luckily, yeah, nothing strange happened. So it was really a nice guy, and we had a very nice talk. Yeah, and I also told him that I speak German on a very good level.
And he was impressed, obviously.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was really impressed because like he was living in Germany, but he didn't have C1 German level.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he was really impressed.
Which happens.
Yeah, because he was working in English, basically. And yeah, and I told him that I want to do my master's degree in Germany, but right now I'm not sure because of this frozen bank account, how I will figure it out, etc. And he was like, "Oh, like, do you know what a duales Studium is?" And I was like, yeah, I think like I heard about it once, but like no, really. And he told me like, hey, look, you don't need any money. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need any frozen bank account, because a duales Studium, it's basically a program where you go to the university and you work at the same time. So you get your normal salary because you go to work, and your company pays for your education.
Wow, that is just great, right?
Yeah, so like you basically combine both studies and a working experience, and you don't have to provide any frozen account because you will get your monthly salary, and that's why yeah, it's basically a very good way to come to Germany if you want to avoid this frozen bank account, etc.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, it sounds really cool. And then it was 4 years ago, so there was no ChatGPT.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, I began to research on this topic, and I literally found very few resources on this topic on my mother tongue. I researched mostly in German. I watched some YouTube videos, I read some articles, and then yeah, I understood that it's really a cool like program, a cool system, let me say, and that yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I would also be really impressed if I found something like this. But in my time, I really had no idea. That's why everything Liza is now talking about for me is just like, wow, because we haven't really discussed it a lot, right? So now I'm also a pretty attentive listener.
Basically, it's really a very funny story. And when I when I told about it to my ex roommate, he was like, yeah, Liza, like, you're supposed to find jobs on the apps where people find dates. Like, how does it work? And I was like, yeah, business mindset.
You can find everything. I mean, at least if you don't find a prince, a boyfriend of your dreams, then you can find something like this, and then
Yeah,
you can
so-
really find your way to
Yeah,
Germany.
so it's the first small experience, is the first life hack to you guys. Like, I think, yeah, you should be open-minded. You should be really open to other people, to hear their stories and all the stuff, because I think you never know
where you can find
yeah,
what.
where you can find some information or some life hacks like that.
Yeah, people bring us something, that's for sure.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's go to the question number 2. What does a dual study program look like? I mean, in practice, on practical level.
So basically, your life consists of education and work at the same time. I think there are many like systems and structures. Some students go, for example, they go like 2-3 months to the university, and then 2-3 months of work. But for me, it was all in one. So I So I went to work from Monday to Thursday, and I used to study on Fridays and Saturdays. So it was like 6 days a week, which was a little bit stressful, but it was fine. And it looks like that you gather some practical experience, some practical knowledge, I would say, at the university, which you can also
Apply.
apply on your work projects.
But does it really also consist of theory, like in, let's say, normal university in a normal program, or it's more this practice and then some kind of, that you do practice instead of theory, or it's also a combination?
It's a combination, I would say, because like there is no practice without the theory from my point of view, but the emphasis is on practice, like on practical projects. As far as I know, like in many universities, you have a clausura. It's like a written exam as an examination form, and we had a lot of group projects. So instead of like writing something down, theories that you have to
Just learn by heart.
learn by heart. Yeah, exactly.
So based on what you're saying now, would you also say that, okay, it's just a good combination, I mean, the work part and also the study part, and they somehow help each other, and they are tightly connected with each other? Would you say this?
Yes, I would say it's, of course, it's like depends on the company and on the structure and on university. Yeah, maybe one important thing also to say that your company and your university, like most of the time, they are partners. So they have all the documents and they have some regulations. Which was in my case, so it's like it was really easily to do it, because I think that some students pay for the education on their own, so they have to figure it out on themselves. How do they combine work and studies? So it's basically easier when the university and the company are partners. And I would say I was lucky enough to apply some theoretical knowledge and some practical skills from the university on my working project. Of course, it depends on your work projects, because I think you cannot apply everything. But they are tightly connected, I would say.
That's nice, really nice. Well, Liza, okay, let's go to question number 3 that I have here. Do you receive a regular university degree after a dual study program, like, for example, bachelor's or master's? And also, pretty important, is this degree then fully recognized, and then you have all the career opportunities that you normally have after the bachelor study program at a university, or is there something different here?
No, it's fully recognized as any other university. So I did a Master of Science in my case, for example, or like Bachelor of Science. It's fully recognized. So you're open for any career opportunities.
That's great. That's really important, because sometimes you can be confused, is it a real study? Is it not? What does it actually mean?
Yeah, it's a real study recognized by the German government.
Well, okay, I think, we really do understand, living here for some time already, that, age thing a little bit different everywhere, like in our countries in Eastern Europe and here in Western Europe. That's why I think a pretty relevant question. The next one is, are there any age limits, like, for example, only until 25 or, 30 you can apply for this kind of program, or it's just without any limits?
As far as I know, there are no limits. I was the youngest in my group. I was 21, 22 back then. Yeah, but I also had some students, they were like 30. So I think there is no age limitations as long as you want and you're able to apply for this program.
Yes, if you want to gain new knowledge, please, you're welcome. Use your chances.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate. Okay, another question will be, what are the requirements to be accepted into a dual study program?
It depends on the program itself, of course, but in my case, they needed some regular documents like my CV, my cover letter, my my transcript of records from my bachelor studies, and they also needed a 1 year of practical experience. I mean, somewhere like at work. So like, but literally the what you need to do, you have to apply for work and you have to apply to the university and you have to be accepted at both university and at the company. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. So you have to pass the interviews, maybe like some tests. I think I passed like 2 interviews at work and at the university, and then I was accepted.
Wow, that's nice. And only just a clarifying question. I mean, about this experience that you mentioned, 1 year, should it be related to what you're going to do in this program and at work, or is just 1 year of any experience, let's say, that you had?
Well, I cannot...
Maybe ideally,
Yeah, ideally it should be something related to the field you want
study.
to the field of study, exactly, or maybe like something similar at least.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I mean, in Germany, normally everything should be like according to logic, according to some, not just a chaos or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, I studied Master of Science in Technology and Management, and I also had some guys in the group who studied like event management or some kind of banking earlier, but it was also connected due to the economic fields, economic subjects. So it was okay, but I think if you like studied something completely different and your working experience is, I don't know, like a supermarket assistant or something like that, it's not so
not relatable.
Yeah, it's not relatable, so I'm not sure whether it's acceptable or not.
Okay, yeah, I see. I mean, so ideally, yes. But of course, I think you always need to try. Even if you don't have the necessary...
exactly.
Just try it. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, application doesn't cost anything. So.
Yes. So, exactly. Thank you for saying about the application, because that is the next question. Well, what actually do you need to do, step by step, to get into a dual study program, to be accepted?
So I would say I will tell how I did that. So I began to Google. Right now we have ChatGPT, so it's a lot easier.
Much easier.
But like back then, like 4 years ago, I did the following. I just started to Google the project, like the subject fields I wanted to study, for example, IT, management, dualis,
economics.
Exactly, dual master degree in Germany. And then there are many like websites with a list of universities with related fields.
Study programs.
Yeah, study programs, exactly, and I just opened each website and looked, okay, what do they offer, how it looks like,
a little bit of a research, right?
Genau. Yeah, exactly. You should do some research, and then like I saw on my university website that they have also some partner companies, and I saw my company, and I also saw an open position on LinkedIn of the company we're currently working for. So I applied on LinkedIn. So that's what basically I would advise to do. Like from now on, I think you may just ask ChatGPT, like give me some dual studies, bachelor or master studies in Germany in this field, maybe like also in some cities you would like to study, because I would recommend also live and work in big cities, just because there are much more career opportunities here rather than in smaller cities.
Yes, okay. Yeah. I see. Thank you. Exactly. I think now with ChatGPT, you just say what you want and then you get what you want. That's why it's easier.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't need the direct algorithm.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's good to know. So let's go to another question. And this is approximately how long does it normally take the process? I mean, from, applying to the program and then for being accepted. From applying to being accepted.
Yeah. So I think it took like a couple of months. I applied in April 4 years ago, and I was accepted in June. So it's well, like it was like
Already 4 years? Oh,
yeah.
time flies.
Yeah, time flies. So it was 3 months. Yeah. So. But I also heard that it was like very quick in my case. So I would say maybe you should plan, I don't know, like from 3 to 6 months to get accepted and to prepare all the documents in advance.
When it goes to Germany, always plan for more. So take more time.
Yeah, I mean, for example, if you're applying for winter semester, which usually starts in autumn, like in October.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you should start like in, yeah, I would say in winter, like in February, or in like in early spring, like in March. That would be, yeah,
That will be
good.
the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Liza. And well, another question will be, but I think we will pass this question because you have already answered in the first one. In the first answer here, do you pay for this? Do you not pay for this? But maybe, okay, the question is, do you get, no, you don't get any scholarship because you get a real payment, right?
Yeah.
As for work. Okay.
But I would say there is, as far as I know, there is an opportunity to get a scholarship, which is called Deutschlandstipendium. It's like Germany's scholarship.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, that's the scholarship I applied for, and I got this, and it was €300 per month. For 1 year, so it was like really good.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's really worth it, and the application is not so difficult, I would say. But you're in dual studies, you're not applicable to apply for some bigger scholarships like the art, for example.
Okay, yeah, that's actually very important, I think, because from the perspective when you are a student, not a student, but especially when you are a student mostly, of course you need money. And you know, as I always say in almost every episode, it's, yes, with inflation, with all these high prices, it's really important to have a little bit more. Always, yeah, not a bad thing to have more money. That's why use all the opportunities again.
Yeah.
Okay, can you please tell us how long normally does a dual study program last? Well, I mean, is it 1 year, 2 years?
Well, it was 2 years in my case, 4 semesters, and you also have an opportunity to prolong the studies,
like in a normal, let's say, university.
Yeah, like in a normal case, yeah. And I think it's 3 or 3.5 years for bachelor students.
And maybe could you please also enlighten us and tell us when can you prolong? What kind of reasons do you need to have to do this? Like, should there be really some strong reasons for that, or in which case?
Well, not really. I think you can, of course, you may prolong your studies if you were sick, or like if you were on a maternity leave or something
Maybe
like
some
that.
family issues?
Yes, some family issues, exactly. You may also prolong the studies if you didn't pass some exams and you need to do some exams or some modules, some subjects once again. For example, I prolonged my studies for the 5th semester, so I did 2 months more than regular students because I had some issues writing my thesis. So we had to write an expose. It's like a short summary of the thesis, and it was a completely new thing for me because we didn't
do something like this.
Yeah, we didn't do something like that in our home countries. That's why I have some issues with that, and it take a little bit longer. That's why I prolonged my studies, but it's actually no problem. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So
nice to know.
It's a common thing in Deutschland, in Germany.
We have some Denglish, sorry, a little bit. From time to time, just some words, come out of us in German. Sorry, but you guys probably already know that from me. Well, okay, another question will be: we've talked about like really good things, you know, all these processes, all these opportunities that we have when we talk about this kind of program. But well, are there any any specific challenges, while being especially an international student? Because you come here, you have your background, right? You are from your country, home country. I mean, we are Eastern Europeans, this is Western Europe, even though we are all Europeans, as we say, but still, did you face any challenges on your way while studying, except for combining your work and studies?
Yes, it was one challenge because, basically, I came here, and from the first or the second week, I went to work and to the university. So you don't really have the time, to prepare all the documents, to chill, to
To have some party.
Yeah, to breathe in the German air and really understand that you are here. So from the first day, you're working, you're studying, you're doing the best life. So it's it takes time. It takes
Dedication, discipline.
Exactly, and a huge amount of energy. I would say, and another challenge is that I would say dual studies. This program is not so common for international students.
It's not.
I mean, for example, I was my student group was 25, I think, 25, 30 people, and
let's say 25-ish.
25-ish. Let's say there were 25 students, and there were only 2 international students. One guy from Spain and me, but he was already living here in Germany for 3 years, I think. So I was the only one international student, which is pretty challenging because you
were fresh.
You are fresh, and for my German group, it was a regular life, regular studies. So some of my classmates already did dualis bachelor. That's why it wasn't
comfort zone.
Exactly. And everything was new for me. So maybe this wasn't the challenge, because I think when you're going to the, let me say, classic university, not a dual one, there are so many internationals which also new. So it's I think it's a little bit easier to adapt to a new country, because you're not alone, because you have so many classmates and people around you in the same situation. And in that case, I was alone by myself.
Yeah, but just for some time. Later, you managed to find everything.
Yeah.
So you just need to be patient. Exactly. Yeah. In this first period. Yeah. Well, okay. About the challenges, it's clear, and also. Do you have also maybe apart from these challenges, do you have some probably benefits as being this international student, or there are no specific benefits that you might get?
I think there are no directly benefits that you might get, but I would say the huge benefit that you get as a dual student when you're international, that you from the first days you have this you have the right to work, which is very important.
Yes.
You have the right to work let me say nearly full time. I worked 32 years a week, so it's 4 days a week, and for regular students it's only 20 hours.
Sorry, 32 hours.
I'm so sorry. 32 hours a week, and I think for regular students it's only 20 hours.
Yeah, something like this.
So you also get more money than regular students than working students, and you get a real working experience and real projects from the day one, which is very important for international students, because I know that some students face a lot of problems, especially now when the job market is so
especially now
difficult and challenging. I would say that's why it's a real benefit that you don't have to stress about it. You don't have to worry about it, because from the first day, in 2 years, you have 2 years of working experience, which is literally great.
It's precious.
It's precious, in a relevant fit. And as a rule, you also continue working in the same company, so you don't have to worry about the stuff, and you can easier apply for the permanent resident permit, for example, and for the documents. So is worth it.
Yeah, it's really great if you want to stay then in Germany. Of course, you can just come here and you can study, you can make your bachelor or master dual program. But if you really want to stay here, for example, just to live for yourself, just to look out, just to understand, okay, maybe 1 or 2 years, it's really important, I mean, to have this experience. Because otherwise, you don't have that many chances, especially at this crisis time. Unfortunately. Maybe our followers and listeners, hey, you guys, we remember you are there as well. So, and we're talking for you. Maybe you ask yourself also a question: how long are you supposed then to work for the company that was a partner for your university where you had your dual study program? Are you supposed to work then after your study program for 2 years, 1 year? How does it work?
I was supposed to work 1 year after the graduation. I think it depends on the company and on the university. So basically, I would say you just need to read the contract carefully. I think that some students have to work like 2, 3, or 5 years after the graduation in the same company. So I really think it depends on the company, but it was only 1 year in my case, which I find like fair enough.
Well, and I think that the next question that comes to mind is actually, and if you don't stay and work at the company, that's how you are supposed to do. So what happens? What can happen in that case?
Then you should.
Will they kill you?
No, I think no. But you need to pay the money back. Which the company paid for your education.
Which is a lot. So let's not do this. Let's just stay and work, and then you are free like a bird. Well, okay, and let's say what are maybe the advantages and disadvantages of this dual study program in comparison to the, let's say again, normal study program at a normal university?
Yeah, I think I already mentioned the biggest advantages is that you have a real working experience that you gather from the first day. And I think, it's actually like a big advantage. Okay, let me say also...
In general.
Like in general, one more advantage is that you get your salary, which is, of course, which is lower than like regular workers, but it's still more than working students. So you don't have to worry how you will provide yourself with everything. With everything. I think that the disadvantage is that you don't have enough free time. So I mean, like the only 1 day off in my case was
not enough.
Was Sunday, and I mean on Sundays everything is closed, so you should do all the grocery shopping in advance, like on Saturday.
You're completely involved in this process.
Completely involved. And it's also, like during winter, it's really exhausting. I would say, like, I mean, in dark, it's cold, and you have so little energy, and
everything is the same. You just study, work, study, work.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really, so you're really tired at the end of the week, and you don't have like literally like no energy for parties and all that stuff. And I think like the regular students have the advantage I think they don't really have to work unless they want or they need, but it's not a common rule.
It's not a common rule.
Right. I also think that they have more free time and like this more interaction with other students, because like I mean we were studying only 2 days a week and sometimes online, and due to work and other stuff. I believe, I imagine that like regular students are more connected to each other. They have more interaction, parties, and like time together and all that stuff. So it's basically like more opportunities to find friends. And also like in the regular universities, you have much more students. So because regular universities are much bigger than private ones. And you have this student lifestyle on the campus and all the stuff, which was not in my case. And I think, one disadvantage more, as a dual student, you don't have the opportunity to do some Erasmus exchange year or exchange semester, which is really
That's
sad.
a romantic thing to do.
Yeah, it's a romantic thing to do, and I had no opportunity to do it. So yeah, sometimes I'm really sad about it. But yeah, it is what it is.
I also didn't have this opportunity, but for other reasons at my master's studies. But yeah, it would be nice to have this.
Yeah, and also regular students have the opportunity to apply for a place for a room in the dormitory, which is not so expensive as a room in a shared flat or like or an apartment. Yeah, and as a dual student, you don't have the right to apply for a place in the dormitory, and you also don't have this semester ticket for Deutsche Bahn, for trains, for transportation, because they think like, okay, you get your salary, so you can afford the ticket.
Just be responsible for it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's interesting to know as well. And well, we have just a couple of questions before we end this very exciting episode. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, Liza, who would you recommend this path to? I mean, if you think, okay, you've come through this way and you've done it all, but now you think, well, whom can I recommend something like this? For whom can it be really exciting?
I could recommend it to the students which focus on practical projects, like on working and on the practical part. If you're planning your career like in some maybe like corporate world, like in the companies, and not somewhere in the science, not somewhere in the university laboratory or something like that, it's a perfect place to do it. I think. But if you want to do a scientific career, if you want to make a PhD, if you want to do a research,
to be a scientist.
Yeah, to be a scientist, exactly. If you want to do some kind of research in the university, for example, or to be a professor or something like that, that is not the right place to do it from my point of view, because the focus is on the practical things and not on the theory, research, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, that makes sense actually. That's why, just think of that as well. But anyway, I think many of our listeners would really want them to follow your path, because it sounds, just great, in my opinion. Well, and maybe just the last question. This is just as our perspective with this new season, what we didn't know, but what we would like to know. And here, if you think what you wish you would know before you come to Germany for this very program, but you didn't know, what would help you if you knew this before? Or you're fine with everything that you get?
I mean, yeah, I'm generally fine with everything. I mean, I wish I had known about this program a little bit earlier, so I wouldn't be in a rush. But actually, I also knew that it's not so common among international students. I think the rest of the...
So you were fine with everything that you learned along the way?
Yeah, I was fine to learn it, because I mean, you cannot. I think you cannot prepare yourself like 100%
for anything.
to move. So I think there are much more other things that I wish I had known before moving to Germany.
But that's another topic.
Yeah, but that will be in further episodes. Yeah, but from now on, maybe like one thing, I really had some issues, and I would say it was a real struggle with my expose. It's the summary of the thesis, because we don't have such a thing in our universities, so it's maybe maybe
some preparation courses.
Some preparation courses for that, or how does it work. In general, about the education system in Germany, about the group projects and all that stuff, like some general information would be useful, of course. But in general, it was fine.
Thank you. Okay, guys, I think we are ready now with the whole topic that we've discussed. And I hope and I'm pretty sure that you're also happy with everything you get from from our episode today. And of course, we didn't forget about the tradition that we had, but we leave it for the episode number 1. And in a new season, we start everything from scratch. We do all the new things. We try the new format. And of course, we've now come with an idea, with a new feature that we're going to include into all of our next episodes and in this one as well. Well, Liza, let's say we call this feature the new one, what you didn't know but what you wish you would know about Germany.
Yeah.
So some kind of facts. And let's start today with the fact number 1. And what is it?
So I would also add that there are like some facts you can only know when you are living in this
When you're already here.
Yeah. When you're already here, when you live in this environment, because I think there are no such facts in some brochures or some books. And the fact is that here in German restaurants, very often there is no wardrobe, so there is no place to lift to hang your jacket or your coat. So they basically, take their coats on their seats.
You put them, on your chairs, and then you sit, eat, have your drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we are here saying from our perspective. Maybe for you, for people from other countries, it's also fine and normal, and we don't say it's not. It's just for us something unusual because
something different.
In our countries, normally you have some space, you have a wardrobe where you can hang on your things, your clothes, your stuff, and then you can just go to your table and have your dinner, your meal, everything. But here it's not like that.
Yeah.
And we got used to it. Yes, so it's fine. Now we are also Germans in this way. Well, guys, I think you are happy. We are happy. This is the new beginning. Well, this is challenging, but we are going to manage everything.
Yeah.
And thank you, my loyal listeners. Thank you, our new listeners, new followers, and welcome. Liza is now with us.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, to put your likes, to put some in the comments. Also, if you have any questions to this episode or to us in general, don't forget to write them down in the comments. We will be happy to answer.
And in the information, in the context, you can find everything on us. I mean, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the contacts, just below.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.